Yeah, this is Ashabash representing for Sandy and Bonez TV. More of the people them just like and subscribe our TV. Cause I just a blessing. Manifesting our TV progressing. Yeah, Nyla, scatter.
My name is Sandy Star. The music in the background, that's me. Can't go no louder. So I'm here to address the situation where a female artist says that she was beaten up by an big international reggae artist. I'm playing the video. So I don't incite violence on anyone, not any man, nor woman. And when people express themselves and, come out and say, well, I've been abused, they should not be shunned. And there are some individuals that I guess they're seeking attention and say that she got hit. But there's things that led up to it where I'm not saying that she should have gotten it, but I guess she... Jesus Christ. Let's please hang up. Les.
Yeah.
Come on from the phone. Hang up.
Alright.
God damn. Yeah, so let me pause this. Yeah, so back in the days, there's two studios. I'm not gonna call it entertainers name, but everybody can pick out where I'm at and who is the artist. So back in the days, we would go from, which is me, the individual that says she was hit by an artist, and Queen Paula. So in the morning, we would go to Shocking Vibes where you had Penthouse and Dave Kelly was working there at a little section for himself. So in the morning, we go to Penthouse, and in the evening, we go to Jammies. Now, Penthouse is where we do recordings. It's not a dubplate studio, so it's a recording studio. So we go there and do recordings. Now, back in the days when you hear songs like "Too Foul on Me Yard," that's the era. That's the time. Because even then we did Dave Kelly called in me and the individual, which is, should I just call her name? Lady Mackerel, right? Called me in to do the acapella for "It's a Bit Teeny Weeny Little Willie Man." I was like, we no want a man if the man them not long. Yeah. So we did harmonies, we did songs, at Penthouse, which is Shocking Vibes label. Then we go to Jammies in the evening, where a little dubplate is done, but we hang out. So one day after we left Shocking Vibes, we went to Jammies. So we were in the studio recording. We were in the studio laughing, should I say. And me and Angel Doulas, the individual, and Queen Paula. Killer came around and said he wanted to use the studio, so we got out of the studio. Me and Queen Paula left, but the individual was still in the studio. So he said to her, he's gonna use the studio, she must leave. She said she's not coming out, so he eventually got her out of the studio, and she was upset. She was cussing, and he was like, go back to the studio where you guys were. So she's like, oh, he's my boss, that man is my boss, and I don't care what you want to say, Baba. She was upset and she was cussing the artist. Anyway, we left and we went home because that was the evening. The next morning, we went to Shocking Vibes, and I went to the boss and I said to the boss, if you ever hear or your artist, I big you up. Someone say, yeah, what happened? Someone said, well, she was in the studio, and I explained everything back to him. He said, what? All right, Kevin, we're gonna start book her now. We're gonna start, she travel with it because she have different way. He said, yes, she's out of the park. All right, cool. She came in about a couple of minutes later, and he was like, oh, Sandy told me everything. So she was upset, and she was going on badly. So he said to her, listen, you need to go outside and calm down because I don't understand why you're so upset. When she went downstairs, we went over by the studios, and she was still upset. Anyway, same time the artist was coming in, the artist for that studio was coming in, the big artist, the big superstar was coming in, and she shoved me, bust my head, the back of my head on the grill, and he was like, "Where you do that fun, my said, behave yourself and she went bad," and she went downstairs, so I went behind her. So when they were in the yard, and of course he's like, explain to me why you get so mad, So she turned around, shoved him, and told him to suck his mother. Now at this time, the suck mother argument, he went for the piece of board. When he went for the piece of board, of course, anybody, at the time, I guess he was, he was upset, so he slapped her, one slap, and she said, "Go to the gate and leave," and she left. Now, what I just explained is nowhere near what she explained happened. She says, that he broke up a 2-by-4 on her, and obvious, you can't beat a 3 with a 2-by-4 for years and you never break it. But he slapped her one time, she left, and then she called the boss and she says, "I'm going to sue the individual." So he says, "Well, I'm going to counter sue you if you sue my artist because you bust Sandy Star's head." Now, I could have fought, yes, I could, but it's like, it's not even that. It's that out of the respect and everything and the confusion, I wouldn't even think of fighting. Anyway, the whole thing ended right there. Now she said, they gave her money and she buy whatnot, and which false, So that's the explanation of the whole, international artist beat her and broke her up and this and blah. It's just, and the reason why I'm saying, I come out and saying all of this is because for a while now I wanted to, I'm bitter, yeah. So for a while now, because I was with her for years, and because of that incident, we didn't talk anymore. There was no talking between me and her. So, I went home. Of course, I sulked. I was there for a while. I went into a, depression, and I eventually emerged and was going to studio back again. Anyway, a couple of years later, she called me. "Oh, what go on?" I said, "There, who this? Oh, Macka." I said, "Okay, all right, what's up?" She said, she had a cash pot and they robbed it. So she is asking me to lend her money. This is after the bus said and the beating or something. So I said, "How much you want it?" She said, $20,000. I gave it to her. I said, "Meet me at Spanish Town, right, the plaza beside the police station." And I went to the NCB and I gave her the money. When she got the money, she called me. That's the time that she's still named Mackerel. She called me and she said to me, "Come here, you par now. What you doing?" So I said, "Well, me and Snagga par a daytime. So, that's that." She said, "Well, can I come?" I said, "I'm going to have to ask him." So I asked Snagga, and Snagga said, "Yeah, man, let you come." We were on the road, everywhere, while Snagga usually, that's when Snagga started his roots thing. And Snagga, oh my God, eat pure raw food. And we were like, "Oh my God, we need some chicken or whatever." Anyway, we were parring together, so we went to PG Express. And PG Express, at that time, usually sell artist cars, and there was a trading. I was like, "Oh my God, can I have the car?" And he says, "How much you have?" And I said, $20,000. And he said, "Okay, I'm going to take the $20,000 and I'm going to give you the car." That's the time we left Snagga because Snagga was all raw food and we didn't want to be raw food. So me and Macka start par. Me and Lady Mackerel start par. Anyway, she did TechCon, and there was a remix of which is the Cartel, Tech Body Girl. So she did TechCon, support, I was supportive of everything, she did, and we were friends. I was the driver, of course. We, drove everywhere, and then she said she wanted to change her name. So she said, "Oh, you think about Macka Diamond?" So she said, "Macka Juke them Diamond" was a part of her friend's name. So I said, "Sure, anything you want to do, I support you." Cool. Sunfest, not Sunfest, Sting came, and she and Queen Paula, went on stage and clashed. And, she came home and said, she's going to kill herself because, blah, blah, blah. So I said, "Listen, anybody that wins on Sting, you never hear nothing more from them." like a couple seconds after you hear our song start playing on the radio, which is Lexus and Benz. Okay, cool. Yeah, and from there we start. Our career started, and she was, everywhere she was, I was, as I said, we were friends, and everywhere we fly, I was there with her. Now, the reason why I'm so upset is because I haven't spoken to Macka over the years because of something she heard I said. Now, I'm gonna pause that situation for a second and come back and try to explain why that upset me. Now, if you hear me say something as your friend, you're supposed to come to me and say, stand in my ear, say, yes, say. She did not. So while we were flying all over the place, come back to Jamaica, no, let me step one other step. Hold on. Now, my son is an American, so one day when we were in New York, Lady Han came to our hotel. And she was talking, blah, blah, blah. We did that talk, and I was saying, my son, American, I want him to grow a Jamaican. She said, him have him social? I said, yeah. She said, all right, carry him, come. I'll keep him. So I said, yeah, sure? She said, yeah, man. So that's how Lady Han, she had my son. Now, Lady Anna, one day after back and forth, we came back to New York, and she asked me for money. So I said, when I go to England, I send her money from England. Come I go to England next week. She said, oh, you're a par with Macka, and you do so much show, you don't get the money. I say, so I never asked Macka for nothing. And furthermore, that's not the point. The point is, when I go to England next week, fine. That's the conversation. That was the whole conversation. She went to Macka, and she went behind my back, and she said, Sandy say, you're not getting no money. And whatever was the conversation. Now, I was in a vehicle when Ann called her, right? So I heard her saying, nobody don't know about money, blah, 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 and she was upset. But, I wasn't even thinking. Anyway, so, we were all over the place, flying back and forth, doing shows, blah, blah, blah. So we were coming from, when we reached, we were coming from LA. So because normally I park my car at the airport, we jump in, I drop her off, I go home, same thing, vice versa. Leave my home, pick her up, drop the car at the airport, and we go away. So she, so when I dropped her off, on my way home, I was at the village, I'll never forget it. And Snagga called me and said to me, yeah, Macka talk back? I want one dub plate from her. I said, me and Macka talk back? Me and Macka come from LA, what you talk about? Him say, well, of course, Snagga got tell me because Snagga, I'm a friend. Snagga look out for me. Snagga was there for me. So Snagga said, because she said, you chat her. So I said, I soon call her back. So I call her. I said to her, where you hear some? Say, she said, that time I start career, she big them touch. Big. I said, where you hear some? Say, which part you reach? Macka, where you hear some? Say, how far you there? Macka, oh, and I'm not because Queen Polly that chat me too. Now, further on before that, and I'm talking about if we are friends and you hear someone say something, you're supposed to say something to me, right? Because earlier, people would be talking about her with her, IG or whatever. And I came to her and I said to her, can I say something to you? I'm your friend, and if I can't say to you, she said, yeah man, go ahead. I said, well, everybody attacks say your mouth stink, and me not like it. She said, well, I kind of chose it because me have gingivitis and I youth, and them cut off the gum, and them cut off too much, and my teeth was, skeleton was showing, and so them have to take out the teeth them. So she said, all right, and I gave her a bottle of peroxide. Now, what I said that for this is that if I could come to you as a friend and I said to you, say, your mouth stink, and we correct the problem. We work on it. You're supposed to come to me and say to me, say, your ears to me say. So that's why I stopped talking to her, and she couple weeks after, Ray Alexandra called me. Ray Alexandra is the booking agent for Spice. He's also, for a lot of artists, and he was for her. And he called me and he said to me, I booked some shows for you, and I'm gonna have to cancel them because Macka says she's not performing on no stage with you on it. So I said, no problem. I didn't even know that you book shows for me, so it's okay. And behold, she called again, couple, I guess 2 years after, said she wanted me to do a favor for her. Now, I'm just saying, the reason why I'm saying this to say that is that when she's trying to end a fellow musician's career, now remember, yes, she got hit, but don't come out and say the lies. You know, Tanya came and she said her truth. Everybody come said their truth. Say your truth. You know, you come in and you say you get hit. Yes, you get hit. You get one hit. Yes, and you push first and two. So at the end of the day, I'm just saying, talk your truth. You know, don't talk with Nagosa. You know, everybody, you're saying to everybody that, you know, you got hit and, you know, talk your truth. You know, at the end of the day, it's unfair. You're big at the time, everybody I look on you. And there, everybody else was saying to her, you know, easy no man, where you going? So wagwan, what's up? Coming back. Them time there, I'm not sure, I don't remember, but I remember that those days, Tony Rebel didn't bust yet. You know, so I think he was there. I don't remember, so don't quote me on that, but anybody that was there and nobody would have stand up and watch, you know, body abuse no woman. Because at the end of the day, a lot of the men were downstairs, yes, but when she came out and she was cussing, everybody was like, "Wow, go on, what's up? You know, why you know?" So there was no full beating, you know. No, and come on, people. A two before, anybody that get a two before full beating should have broke up. You'd have beat a tree for days with a two before, and now break up. So at the end of the day, that's all I say, and I've never come live before, and yeah, I did come live. I came live at the beach one time, but you know, so it's about that. So there's no beating. There was no beating. You know, there's just a one slap and say, go through the gate. You know, but and when she's talking about people beat her and she get whatnot, because for one, you know, she was gonna sue him. You know, and when the boss called me and said, you know, boy, if anything, you're gonna have to, you know, we're gonna counter sue for you, and I was like, whatever, you know, I was, you know, shamed and disappointed and everything, you know, so I started eating chocolates like 2 pounds a day. You know, I went in a stage of depression, and anything about it, she always cry wolf, and she need to own up what she did. We had a writer, his name was Teflon, and Teflon wrote so much of her songs, and she took him to a lawyer and signed his rights away, saying he's gonna get $300,000. He didn't even know what he was signing, and he signed everything away and didn't even know, and he never got $1 from her. Right? His situation could have changed for the better, but because she stole his career, you know, turned him to another, he went to a different avenue, you know, which he was arrested. He was in America, he got arrested, you know, it went the other way. There was no success in his story, you know, so at the end of the day, she's an unfair person, and our friendship was not ended because of her. I ended our friendship. You know, I was there, you know, when nothing go on. I come from foreign, I buy everybody food, I buy clothes, I do everything. I did everything. Anything that my friends wanted, I did it. And I still would have, and I still would do it anytime for anybody. Anybody wanted my help at the time. And I did let off the money with her. No, let off the money. I wasn't even on the record. My name is not on the record. Nobody knew that Sandy started let off the money with Macka Tanya. Nobody did know I did Hungry Dog with Mad Cabra. You know, there's so much songs I have out there, but because of whatever reason, you know, I'm not where I am today. Now, when I was with Macka, I wasn't even interested in music. Like, I would just go with her and I would just perform. I love singing. you know, and that was that. You know, when she was doing interviews, she did said, come in at the interview. I was like, come on, go and do your thing. I'm here, you know. And looking back at these years when I had the opportunity, and you see, let me tell you something. Vibes Cartel, you know, said to me when we went on a tour, me, Mad Cabra, Vibes Cartel, Assassin. Then time the Assassin and Cartel a war. So when we were coming back to Jamaica, it was me, Cartel, and Roach was in the airport. And he said to me, with all the situation, with the breakup and whatever, he's like, Sandy, if you did bust under Macka regime, nobody would rate you. Which, even when she got the fight and everybody was against her, I was always there with her. I was her friend, you know. But you can be your friend to somebody and they're not to you, you know. And of course, whatever I did, you know, like whatever I spent or whatever, I've done it for everybody that I know. So thinking that I lost, nope, I did not. So there was no beating, and there's no, you know, so that's it. Macka, talk the truth. Talk what happened. And I want to hear the lies what you're going to say about me. So, all I'm saying to everybody, now big up everybody that came on my life. Thank you. It's my first time talking, like even the speaking. So, I'll be doing more. And I'm not going to talk about music now. I'm just here to talk about the situation. I'm not doing any promotions. I'm just here to talk about her. And, you know, show who I am. You know, I am Sandy Star. It's not like I'm a nobody. Like, you know, I sing. I have big songs. Broken hearted I've ever known. 'Cause I don't want to lose it all.
Yeah, this is Ashabash representing for Sandy and Bonez TV. More of the people them just like and subscribe our TV, cause I just a blessing, manifesting our TV progressing. Yeah, Nyla, scatter.